Hello and welcome everyone to the Atlanta Consortium Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You may use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time today. Your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you, but they're happy to receive those questions in the Q&A function. This is one of many different sessions happening, so make sure you sign up for those additional sessions. And this presentation, as well as all of the other events, are being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/Atlanta. I'll put that link in the chat as well. But now I'm going to turn it over to our presenters. Take it away whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deanna Kelly. I am one of the presenters today, along with my beautiful colleagues, and we're all in different locations in different universities. So I'm going to hand it over to Katie Brewster Clark, and she's going to give you an introduction of herself.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm Katie Brewster Clark, recently married, and I'm here representing Oglethorpe University. I am a senior admission counselor. I work with a pretty wide variety of students from Northwest Georgia, Tennessee, the West Midwest United States, as well as transfer students. So really happy to talk about Atlanta today. I'm actually an Atlanta native. I grew up 5 minutes down the road from Oglethorpe, which is in an area called Brookhaven. You'll learn a little bit more in this presentation about our neighborhoods. But to talk a little bit about Oglethorpe, we're a small campus, got about 1,400 students. Some of our most popular programs include our business program, our pre-med, so our biology and our chemistry programs, as well as communications and actually theater. We've got some really fantastic theater in the city. So very happy to talk to you all today. But I will pass it off to Christy to talk about her institution.
Thank you, Katie. Hello, everyone. My name is Christy Johnson. I am Assistant Director of Admissions at Spelman College, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all today. I am not an Atlanta native, so being in a part of this panel is definitely gonna definitely broaden my horizons and definitely give me a wider scope of knowledge regarding Atlanta. So I was super excited to participate. Just a little bit about Spelman College. We are a private all women's HBCU. We are the #1 HBCU, and that has been noted by U.S. News World and Report. We have a very small population of 2,100 students, and we are, of course, located right in the heart of Atlanta. So definitely looking forward to speaking with you all a little bit more, just so that you can gauge our interest. Please don't forget, we would love for you all to ask questions throughout this presentation. We welcome that, and I will definitely pass it on to my colleague, Deanna.
Thank you, Christy. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Deanna Kelly. I am a senior admissions counselor at Georgia State University. We are the largest university in the state of Georgia. We have over 6 locations. Our primary location is in downtown Atlanta. We have a little over 52,000 students. We have over 250 majors. So we definitely have a lot going on here at Georgia State University, but it is a fun place to be. And our locations are in the Metro Atlanta area. So not only are we downtown, but we surround the Metro Atlanta area, which we're going to talk a little bit about. So I am also not a native of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. So this is probably near and dear to my heart. I love the city of Atlanta. This is one of the reasons why I moved here, and I work for Georgia State University. So it will be my pleasure to kind of give you my tips and tricks on how I navigate Atlanta and how we can move forward from there. I'm going to hand it over to Cicely.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. My name is Cecily Spindell, and I am an admission advisor at Emory University. In our admission office, I recruit in South Florida, but I'm super excited to talk specifically about Atlanta and get to share a little bit about this amazing city with you. I'm also not from Atlanta, so Katie, it looks like you're the only native here. I'm originally from the Washington, D.C. area, and I came down to Atlanta for college. I attended Emory as well. And so I think this is an awesome way for me to talk about as well, just, what brought us all to the city, and especially me coming for college. A little bit about Emory University. We are a mid-sized institution. We really fall kind of in the middle of everyone on this group. We have about 7,000 undergraduate students on our campus. We have about 15,000 students at Emory, but that also includes our graduate schools and students studying in other divisions. We are primarily a liberal arts institution, but we also have a really strong business school as well as a nursing school. So there's a lot you can explore here, definitely taking advantage of the liberal arts curriculum, but then also having access to pre-professional programs and research and things like that. So with that, Deanna, I'll turn it back to you and we can get started.
All right, you guys. So we're going to talk about why should you study in Atlanta. We all have our own particular task that we're going to talk about, but I'm going to start off with the overall demographics of what makes up Atlanta. So everything that you have known, heard, seen in Atlanta, it's definitely real. So if you think about something that interests you when it pertains to theme parks, gardens, arts, theater, music, museum, historic battlefields, Atlanta has all of those, and it's not far to get to it, actually. So Atlanta, we do have the busiest airport in the world. They name it the city in the forest for a reason. So you get city and you get suburban all in the same area. There are just 50 parks in the city of Atlanta alone. So I'm not even talking about Metro Atlanta. But then outside of Atlanta, you do have historical landmarks like Stone Mountain Park, where I'm from, where I live right now, and so many other beautiful landscapes that you can kind of get away and just relax and see waterfalls and beautiful areas of Georgia. So that alone just blows my mind. I love Atlanta for just that reason alone. And then we are a huge historical hub. So we have tons of museums here. The National Center for Civil and Human Rights is here, where Martin Luther King and his wife are buried in the city of Atlanta. And there are just so many historical places to visit and see in the city of Atlanta. It's very much a spectacle, and there's always something to do and learn in the city of Atlanta. We also have attractions like the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, which is so beautiful. It's filled with flowers and trees and just all kinds of, they have themes, and it's some place that you definitely have to visit if you come to Atlanta. And oftentimes our students visit there because the tickets are discounted for a lot of our students at our university. So it's definitely a place that you want to come to. And then we have the most diverse neighborhoods thriving in many cultures in the city of Atlanta. So for those of you who may be from New York or are familiar with New York, you know, you have New York City, but then you have boroughs. So although Atlanta doesn't have boroughs, we have neighborhoods, and those neighborhoods are kind of named in different ways. And all of those neighborhoods have their own different culture and vibe, if you will. So I'm just going to give you a little snapshot of all the different neighborhoods in Atlanta. So this is all of Atlanta, but as you can see, there's Buckhead, there's Lenox, there's the West End, there's East Atlanta, there's Grant Park, there's downtown, Old Fourth Ward. And when I tell you, you visit all these different areas, you will definitely get a different vibe in every single area, which is great because it also comes with the food, the culture. It comes with they have different festivals here, the Dogwood Festival, just so many sights and things to see here in Atlanta. I've been here 10 years and I still haven't seen it all. So when it just comes to diversity, when it comes to culture, even the people, you'll see all kinds of different people, walks of life here in this city of Atlanta. So you'll definitely see the culture, you'll definitely see kind of the whole world, if you so to speak, in the city of Atlanta, and there's always something fun to do. So that's just kind of a snapshot of what Atlanta is and how fun it is. And if you just want to get into whatever Atlanta you can handle with Atlanta, there's always something to do. So with that being said, before I send it over to Christy, Please submit any questions that you have in the Q&A. We'll be more than happy, and we are available to answer you back. But don't wait until the end to start answering your questions or asking your questions. Ask us right away so that way we can get to all the questions that you guys have. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Christy. Go ahead, Christy.
All right, now I don't know why Deanna chose for me to, follow her up, because I mean, all the content that she just gave was all the fun stuff. This is fun, but it's like a different type of fun. So come on, join me on this journey of a different kind of fun. So we're going to talk a little bit about industry and enterprise, because Atlanta has become a significant hub for large corporations who have moved their headquarters to this city. And it's for great reason. Again, all of the reasons that Deanna just listed in her presentation definitely, I'm sure, have contributed to some of these companies or corporations moving over to and shifting their headquarters to Atlanta. So some of the popular Fortune 100 companies would include Coca-Cola, Home Depot, United Parcel Service, Delta Airlines, and then AT&T Mobility. And I do have a few other that I noted as listed as part of Fortune 500, which are the Southern Company, NCR Corporation, Intercontinental Exchange, and Graphic Packaging. So just again, a large list of wonderful corporations. Deanna, you can go to the next slide, or I'm like, or can I do it? Because I'm glad Deanna included this slide, because it really gives you a little bit a better glance, I would say, of some of those corporations that have made Atlanta home. Now, if you even pull out and zone into Georgia in general, I mean, there are just a world of other Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies that have made their home even in Georgia. Next slide, please. Okay, so again, we're talking, numbers, and I thought that this was really cool information. International corporations in Georgia, Adidas, ASOS, Kia Motors, Luxottica, Mercedes, and then Porsche. Y'all, if you've never been to Georgia, if you've never been to Atlanta, I drove past that. It's a beautiful Porsche. They have a speedway track, and I've seen some of those Porsches moving by. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to afford a Porsche, but looking over there, it looks amazing. And then you can see over on the left, the top 10 countries with facilities in Georgia. So again, you can see where some of those corporations are coming from: United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, Japan, the Netherlands, Switzerland, France, and even South Africa is in there as well. And then top 10 countries by employment in Georgia. So again, from an employment perspective, again, Japan, Germany, United Kingdom, Canada, Netherlands again, France. So some of those same companies that are, I would say, countries that you saw up top are the same ones that you see represented in the bottom. So again, just really, I've seen Atlanta. I've only been here now for about 2 years, but what I am seeing in Atlanta is just, again, as Deanna was noting, a melting pot. So not only a melting pot of culture, but a melting pot of corporations of sort as well. So I like that, because again, it really adds to the diversity and speaks volumes to the diversity that is represented here in Atlanta. Next slide, please. Okay, and so I did also do some, I wanted to also, before I talk about the leadership, leading internship opportunities here in Atlanta, wanted to kind of side note entrepreneurship here in Atlanta. Entrepreneurship is very, very, it is something that is thriving here in Atlanta. If you are a person that you have a startup company, you would want to be in Atlanta. Not only, again, we're speaking about the diversity of people, you're speaking about the diversity of neighborhoods in general, and it's a great place to really start up a company. And I did know some of the industries, because I was like, oh, well, let me just try to find out what kind of industries that we have represented as it relates to entrepreneurship. And some of those are fitness centers, senior care facilities, mobile restaurants. So mobile restaurants, you all, they have like a whole entire like park for like those food trucks and things of the sort. So definitely a great place to be for that. Pet grooming, car care, and tea cafes. It made me think about, maybe I need to go open up a nice little tea cafe. That sounded interesting to me. So for the entrepreneurs, I did want to also speak in a little bit about internship opportunities, which I'm sure myself and all of my colleagues can share a little bit about internship opportunities available at each of our respective campuses. But some of those leading industries right now are accounting, manufacturing, technology, healthcare, government, banking, retail, legal, and education. So, and I definitely don't want to miss, just education is really huge here, higher ed specifically. So those were some really great notes that I found, just as we're talking a little bit about the serious, a different type of fun. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic, and you all please don't forget to ask questions. We're gonna definitely keep reminding you all, just in case you have a question that you wanted to ask, please don't feel shy about asking. We would love to answer any of your questions. So with that said, I will pass it on to my colleague, Cecily.
Thank you. That's a perfect segue, the education industry, into my slides. So I'm super glad that everyone is able to join us. Obviously this, by attending this Zoom, I think that indicates that you're starting to think about your college choice and kind of what cities and what locations are you looking to attend college in. And so Atlanta, we're super proud to say, is an awesome choice to be thinking about right now. And then, once you've decided like Atlanta is a place that you're interested in, I think that opens up a lot of doors, and you still have a lot of choice even within this awesome city. As we hope it's been super apparent by now, Atlanta is a diverse place, and all of the different neighborhoods have their own flair, have their own kind of feeling. And so there are colleges and universities across the city of Atlanta, and also kind of in the greater Atlanta area. As you'll see here on the slide, these are some logos of colleges and universities that are in the greater Atlanta area. This is by no means an exhaustive list. I did just a quick Google search before coming to this Zoom. There are over 50 different colleges and universities in the Atlanta area. That is super mind-blowing, and I think we're super proud of that. This is a place that has a lot of different options. And so whatever you're looking for out of a college or a university, I think we have a school that might be a good fit for you. So for example, just looking at the logos that we have up here, first, there are public universities in the greater Atlanta area, and there are private universities. There are single gender universities. We have schools like Spelman and Agnes Scott, and then there are schools that are not single gender. There are liberal arts colleges, and then there's schools like Georgia Tech that have a heavy focus on engineering and things like that. I think it's something to think about as well as you're thinking here is like, what are you looking to study? So a school might have a really strong program in one area. Katie, I know you had mentioned business at Oglethorpe is really popular. And then there's schools that might have specialties in a lot of different areas. Again, I think, Atlanta is a place that also offers a lot of collaboration. I know from Emory's perspective, we have lots of different programs with Georgia Tech. There's an opportunity for students to pursue dual degrees. Spelman, Morehouse, Clark, Atlanta, I know y'all are next door neighbors, and so there's a lot of collaboration that comes with that as well. And this is also a place that draws students from all over the world. So even with public schools like Georgia State, Georgia Tech, and UGA, they're still going to be drawing students from outside the state of Georgia. And then you'll really get to interact with peers from all across the country and from students all around the world. And so I think that adds a really rich layer of diversity to your academic life as well, and gives you, the opportunity to study in the classroom with people who have wildly different views or prior experiences than you. And that can really add a lot to your college experience. I think all of these colleges, wherever you end up, you're going to be challenged in the classroom, you're going to grow academically and be exposed to new people and ideas and academic disciplines, but you're also at these places to live, and you're also in the city to live and grow as a person. And I think overall Atlanta provides an awesome backdrop for that. This is the place where I can say wholeheartedly, 100% with confidence, every one of the schools in this city, definitely here on the slide, these are places that are connected to the institution. Your professors have built professional networks here. They would love to connect you with people for internships, with places, labs or hospitals or facilities to do research, to have a summer job, whatever it is, these schools are a part of the fabric of Atlanta. And I think that will only add immense value to your academic experience. And, as we've been saying, Christy just mentioned all of the different industries that exist in the city. And so by going to college or university in this city, that gives you kind of firsthand access to be able to explore all of those fields. When I started at Emory, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to study. I came in to college like as undecided as it gets. And really by getting the opportunity to live in a super metropolitan place like Atlanta, I was really able to hone my interests and kind of figure out, where do my interests lie? And I think Atlanta played a huge role in that and allowed me to experience a lot and get kind of a lot of firsthand and kind of hands-on learning experience that I don't think I would have been able to get in a lot of other places. So with that, I will pass the mic over to you, Katie.
Wonderful, thank you. So now I've gotten a chance to talk about internships in Atlanta and a little bit about our studies. I want to make sure we don't leave out just how much fun the city is. And I want to talk a little bit about our entertainment industry. You guys may know that Georgia has actually surpassed California as a state with the most films produced. So our students really get a front row seat to the TV and film with studios like Studios, Tyler Perry Studios, Screen Gems, and of course, Marvel Pinewood as some of our residents. We've also got really fantastic media groups like CNN, TBS, and Cartoon Network. That again, if you're looking for those internship opportunities to get hands-on experience in the film world, you certainly can. Over the past decade, more and more productions have been taking place in Atlanta, sometimes disguising our local landmarks, but often you can still get a bit of a peek at some familiar places, including our campuses. So these are photos on here. This building in Baby Driver that is Georgia State. You can also see Georgia State's symbol right here in The Walking Dead. There have been productions and Museum of Art, just masquerading as being an English Black Panther. We of course thank art galleries all over the city for any of you here, as well as street art and murals you can stumble on. If are more, I mentioned our theater industry earlier. We have no supply of those. The Alliance Theater in particular has established a really fantastic national reputation. Productions, Alice Walker's The Color Purple, Tim Rice's Zeta as just a handful. Those went on to win Tonys for their Broadway productions. Theater, which has national touring acts, both Broadway productions. You can also go there for concerts. They usually do for movie series, theater, dance, performance. So whether you're more into like small, quirky black box theater productions, or you want to go into an and I think it's really fitting. See on here, Baby Driver is, of course, a movie that centers around music. I think it's fitting here. Fantastic call Atlanta home. Just a couple R&B and rap like Outkast, country music's more SNLD, band Sugarland, and of course, when it comes to visit artists, those are apply either. They could come to town for we talked about just about every neighborhood. We've got some larger ones, Shaky Knees and Music Town that everyone gathers for. And in one of our mega stadiums, rather than more, this is a great city to experience. We're always going to be a stop on the biggest course, whether it's Taylor Swift, like going to be coming to it. So seeing on here, a couple of aspects. Our professional sports teams, of course, your students and colleagues, their athletics, but what really pulls all of us together is watching under these fantastic faces. You'll see here Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is brand new, which is where both the Atlanta Falcons and Atlanta United FC, they use those space, as well as mega stars coming in for concerts pre-COVID. Then on here, you'll see Coca-Cola Roxy Theater. That is actually in the same space that the Braves Stadium is, which is a really fantastic area. Kind of overlaps a bunch of different things. You've got the shopping and restaurants, as well as the actual athletic part of it. So there's a little bit of something for everyone when you go visit, which is really I one of my part about Atlanta. Yes.
Katie, can I pause you for 1 second? Your audio is getting a little choppy. And so can we recommend that if you turn off your camera, okay, you're actually back right now.
Okay.
But if you turn off the video, the audio might be smoother.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
But yes, the way that our spaces really are integrated for one thing, which is something I really love. There's something called the Atlanta City that you could go to walk, roller skate, but it's also you can get to international food stalls. You can picnic in our green spaces. We talked a little bit about us being, a city with trees. There really is the Atlanta area. I always struggle when town guests just trying to fit everything I wanted to from around the world. I'm sure if I asked this, what would you do in Atlanta? I guarantee even if some of our favorites, we'd still be teaching each other about exciting locations, but gathering is really what ties us together. So I hope you guys learned a little bit of something new about Atlanta today, but we are going to launch into our Q&A so that we can talk a little bit about what your dying questions are. Starting up at the top, we've got some questions about safety in the city, and certainly that's something top of mind for a lot of us right now around COVID and around just keeping our students physically safe. So, Deanna, I see your mic off if you'd like to start answering that.
Yeah, I think so. Because our main campus is located in downtown Atlanta. I know that Christy in Spelman is our neighbor too. So a lot of times we get questions about safety in the city of Atlanta. So one of the things that I can tell you, as far as Georgia State, Spelman as well, there is a lot of police presence in Atlanta because we actually have about 5 different police districts in downtown Atlanta. So for example, the Georgia State Police Department is there because we're right next to the state capitol. The Capitol Police is there, as well as the Atlanta Police Department, they are there. So you will always see a police presence in the city of Atlanta, especially if there's some type of demonstration or some type of festival, you will see a police presence. They are very friendly. It's very rare that, there is an uprising. It's very, very rare. And they will even walk you to your car or to your dorm. And they're just really adamant. They really don't play when it comes to the student safety. So a lot of times the things that you see on TV, it does not happen on our campuses. Our students overall are very, very safe. I can assure you. I've walked through the city of Atlanta at night several times, been escorted by police officers several times, and I've never had to look over my shoulder or wonder whether or not I was going to be safe. So as far as walking on campus, it is very safe. Of course, with Georgia State University, we are not a secluded campus. We are spread throughout the city. So you don't want to do things that are not smart, like walk with your head buried in your cell phone. You do want to be aware of your surroundings because it is not a secluded campus area, but you don't have to worry about, if you're going to get shot. That's not going to happen. So with that being said, I will turn it over to Christy because she's the other person in Atlanta, the other campus.
Yes, and I second everything that Deanna said. Our campus is a little bit different because it is a gated community. So we have our campus safety officers are all state troopers. So they all have that experience. So it is gated and it is staffed by campus, those state troopers at both of our entrances, at both of our gated entrances. So in order to be able to go through the campus, that person would need to stop at campus security, ID, all that kind of stuff. I will also note for Deanna, to what Deanna said, we do have call boxes across campus as well. So I'm sure most campuses are doing that right now. And I often say to parents, if you are concerned about the safety at these universities, go to the campus safety pages on our websites. They have to disclose any types of occurrences, be it a burglary, be it anything of that sort. So definitely take some time as you are perusing the websites. Look at that. Don't pass that by, because especially if that is a concern of yours, you're coming from a large city into another large city, you definitely want to take those measures into accord.
Awesome. And to talk a little bit about Oglethorpe, our location puts us in kind of a different situation. We are a very residential campus. So we are gated, though of course, if you want your friends to come visit in a normal year, you can just let them through campus security. But Brookhaven is commonly, for the last 10 years, rated the safest neighborhood in Atlanta. And so we definitely keep that top of mind in our location and making sure our students feel comfortable. Especially, we've got a MARTA station less than a mile down the road that you can get anywhere in Atlanta pretty quickly. And so again, what Deanna and Christy said about just not burying your head, making sure that you're keeping aware of your surroundings is always advice that we give any student traveling anywhere. But definitely, those were great tidbits about that. Checking out the website, making sure you know who to call. We always have all of our students, as soon as they come to campus, register with our emergency services. So if you ever, there was someone suspicious on campus, if there was something weird happening, you can just text or call campus security and they can come and check things out for you. And they have an alert system to let the entire campus know if there is an emergency, weather, anything like that.
Did you want to chime in, Cicely?
Well, a lot of what has been said is pretty similar, so we can move on to the next, just in the interest of time.
All right. So I think the next apparent thing would be, how are we handling COVID on our campuses? So Cicely, let's start with you, since you did not speak the last question.
Yeah, for sure. So over the past year, Emory has been operating in a hybrid. I'm sure y'all have never heard the word hybrid about COVID yet, but we invited all of our first year students and our transfer students and students who are housing insecure back to campus. We gave everyone a single, everyone lived kind of in a single room. So typically most students live in doubles or suites, but everyone had their own room this year to allow for more social distancing and quarantining. Looking ahead at next year, Emory is planning to invite back the entire student body. Over the past week, Emory has allowed for every faculty, staff, and student to get vaccinated at Emory Healthcare, which we're all super grateful for. And I think, that will just further support the university being able to function more normally in the fall. So that's kind of a snapshot, but there's lots more on our website if you're curious for specifics. So I'll let someone else speak to that as well now.
Yeah. Real quickly, some of the same sort of things that we're doing is hybrid. Our students are able to live on campus if they would like. They can commute from home if they'd like. And we have 3 types of classes: fully in person, hybrid, or all remote. So that way our students who don't feel comfortable coming into campus don't have to at all. But if they are wanting to go in person, we put a lot of measures in place. In the fall, we only had 8 students test positive the entire semester, which we were really happy about. But with that, we are doing regular testing, and we have an entire protocol for anyone who comes in and visits campus to make sure that they're tested. And similarly, we are planning to be fully in person in the fall. All things going as planned.
All right. I think we all have similar answers to that one. So Georgia State, just really quickly, next fall, we do plan on having in person, but we are flexible as well. Currently, we are doing a hybrid in person and virtual, but we do plan to do in person in the fall.
And really quickly about Spelman, we are still reevaluating what fall is going to look like. Currently, we have a little bit over 200 students on campus. They invited first-year students to live on campus this spring. We were completely closed and virtual up until this spring. So we're hopeful that we will be able to repopulate. And while those 200 plus students have been on campus, there has been a less than 1% positivity case of COVID. So they are definitely taking great measures to keep everybody safe.
Oh, and we've had a couple questions that are about AP credits as well as dual enrollment credits. So I'll say our group's policy, and you guys let me know if yours is any different. If you got a 4 or 5 on that AP exam, that will come in for credit. And you can see on our website what exactly class it will correlate to. And then for dual enrollment classes, as long as you pass, you get a C- or higher, that will come in for university credit as well.
Yep, and I think it also just depends because not all of Georgia's schools are represented here. So I think it really depends on what course you're taking, because Georgia State, we do take some 3s, but it depends on what course you're taking it in. For other courses, it may be a 4 or 5. Just keep in mind that you will have to submit your AP test score at the end. Usually it doesn't come all the way till July, so you might have to exhibit some patience. When it comes to dual enrollment credit, wherever you're taking that dual enrollment credit, you're going to have to submit that official college transcript along with your high school transcript, even though that course may be listed on your high school transcript, because we have to know where that course is originating from. So just keep that in mind if you're doing AP or dual enrollment credit. Does anybody else have anything to say about that? No? Okay, so let's see. I think, Cicely, there was a question for you. Oh, the other thing I think it's great for the good of the group is, how do we handle scholarships, and what are the best schools for film and media, I guess, among all of our schools?
I can speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I can speak to scholarships at Emory. Emory, I'm going to loop in another question. Maeve says, do all of your universities offer the Hope and Zell Miller scholarships, which for people who are joining from out of state, those are scholarships that are offered to students in the state of Georgia. So as a private institution, Emory does honor the Hope and Zell Miller scholarships, but not at the same rate or kind of at the same amount of money that a public university might offer. But the specific dollar amounts that we would award for Hope and Zell Miller are on our financial aid website. And Emory offers a variety of merit-based scholarships. These range from partial tuition all the way up to full cost of attendance. We also offer a need-based financial aid program. Emory meets 100% of demonstrated need for all of our admitted domestic and undocumented students. So overall, there's a lot of options for receiving scholarship and having, finding ways to finance your education. And I will direct you to Emory's financial aid website to learn more.
Yeah, I think that could be true for all of us. You can go on our websites and find out what scholarships that we all have respectively. So Katie, I'll turn it to you for as far as the film industry and internships, and then I'll go from there.
Oh, I love that question. So film and media studies is one of our newest majors at Oglethorpe. We have actually had a filmography track for quite a while, but since the industry is exploding, we want to make sure you are able to get your major in it. And someone asked, are you able to get those internships in the field? And the answer is yes. Whether it's partnering with one of those great studios, whether you're interested in doing more editing work, there is something for everybody. And we really want to make sure you are getting that hands-on work, especially if you want to work with the camera, lighting, all of that. And ours is film and media studies because it also goes into the rest of the media. So it goes into some more communications type classes as well, if you're interested in that side of media. Yes, and in the chat, someone had a question about Spelman's Vet Sciences program. So make sure you check that out. We have pre-vet as well. But yes, so we'll put our emails in the chat again before we go if anyone missed them at the beginning. But I see a question about dorms on campus for freshmen. We do have a residential dorms available for our students that are both traditional hall style and more apartment suite style. And if you guys would like to talk about your housing as well. Deanna?
Yeah, sure. So for Georgia State University, we do not have mandatory housing for freshmen. It is first come, first serve, but we do have it available. So if you are interested in Georgia State University as a freshman at a downtown campus, you want to submit your housing information, make sure you get admitted first, but submit your housing information as quickly as possible so that way you can secure a spot. If you do attend a perimeter college campus, then it is totally commuting. We do not have any dorms on our perimeter college locations. And if you don't know what perimeter college is, then you can just send me an email and I'll be more than happy to break down how perimeter college works at Georgia State University.
Spelman is similar, but a little different. We do require our freshmen to live on campus. There is a 2-year residency requirement on campus. We have about 5 freshman residence halls, but we really make it fun. We make it like Greek life, like us living in a sorority house. It is really cool. So definitely, if you're interested, I'll definitely drop the link in the chat just to take you to the residence halls, residence life, so that you can find out a little bit more.
Yes, and a lot of these questions that you guys have, because we're just perusing through them, they can be found on our website. So make sure you check out our website and our admissions requirements pertaining to SAT, ACT requirements, whether or not we accept them, do them, all of that is usually found on our prospective website. So go check out our websites first. And then we've also listed all of our email addresses in the chat. So go ahead and capture all of our email addresses and we'll be sure to answer you guys as you guys email us. So Jeannie, we're going to hand it back over to you. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to present.
Fantastic. Well, you all did such a wonderful job representing the Atlanta area, state of Georgia, and your respective institutions. So thank you so much for all the expertise that you shared with us today. I have a very quick screen share here. Now, I should have a very quick screen share here. Of course, I'm going to be the one to mess up this beautiful presentation. Here we go. All right. So here's our final screen for the event today. I want to thank once again all of our panelists for all the expertise that they shared. All of them put their information in the chat, so make sure you take that down for any of those follow-up questions. But I know they got to a great number of the questions in today's Q&A. Please keep in mind that when you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We would really appreciate any feedback that you can provide about today's event, but also be aware that this is one of many sessions being hosted. So we hope that we'll see you at the additional sessions for this event. And then a reminder that in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Atlanta. So thank you again to our panelists, and thank you to all of you who have joined us here today, whether you're here live or catching the recording. We hope you enjoyed today's event. Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.